welcome to another episode of the Daymaster. Come on, tap in. Let's get into this fabric. Let's get it. You know we had to start this Monday off right. We got to start the week off right now. You know we got to do it. Is her dad beta? This is the number one question you should ask yourself if you are, again, dating serious. This is for the guys. Again, I know you guys are straddling the fence of purple and red and these other Power Ranger color pills that are out floating around that you feel fits your position or narrative. And again, this is why choosing the woman, if you want to build a family and have a relationship with, is so critical. I tell you guys to do the research as far as the homeless rate, suicide rate. It's a lot of residual effects that plagues a man when he chooses the wrong woman to build with. When you attach yourself to a woman via child, a marriage, again, if you have the finances and everything is in order, you can leave, and you can, if you can suffer the blow financially, you can. But most men are left destroyed after a divorce. And if you look at the current climate of today's society, relationships are optional to her. I had a few conversations with women that I, took interest in, and they were quite attractive, I must say. But I got this common response, when we get to talking, because it's good to have these in-depth conversations because you get to know the mindset and the background of the woman who you are speaking with. All of this matters. A lot of guys just want to pull up, jump in the bed and take shots and think it's going to be a video they seen on the Migos or something like that. And that is not reality. But when you have these in-depth conversations about their future, how they want their life to look, you hear a lot of modern women say, well, I wasn't put here to be married, and if I have children, that's cool, or if I get married, then that's fine, but if not, that's okay too. Relationships have become options because her options are limitless in her mind. She can do whatever she wants for her 20s, 30s, and when she's settled in her career, when she's worked herself to the bone, when she's given the best of her years to her job and or to a man who she knew was not going to commit with her or commit to her, this is when she wants to, okay, well, I look for a relationship now. Okay, now I'm ready for a relationship. See, we live in a microwave society to where we think we can just go online and buy it now like we're on eBay. This is the mindset of the modern woman. She thinks everything is an option to her because the meta world and the beta world, the suckers and simps who fill her comments, who fill her DMs, who fill her text messages with simping and praising her. You must understand a woman who has been conditioned like this over years. She doesn't see the world through a realistic lens. So when you go and look at the background from her family, as far as her father, there was a video, I got to find it. I may post it on the beginning of this clip where it was a boomer simp talking about a woman doesn't need a man for anything other than to move furniture or to pay a bill. It was something of that nature. I'm sure you may have saw the video. And this is the situation that we are in because the simps, the fathers who do not have a clue what is going on in today's climate, they try to spread their outdated wisdom. They try to spread their outdated perspective on modern day relationships and marriage. They think times of today are the exact as the times of old, and that is simply not the case. The boomer generation, the older generation, they didn't have a lot of the conveniences and shortcuts that we had when we have, such as text messaging. Uh, they came into the cell phones in their late 30s, 40s. So that's not even something they had access to in abundance. You look at social media, you look at dating apps, you look at Uber Eats, DoorDash. They can just click the button and whatever they choose arrives the same day or the next. Amazon. I tell you, everything has a residual effect and subconsciously programs us to behave in a certain way. So if her dad is beta, 9 times out of 10, she's going to expect you to be beta because her father, in more cases than not, was the fall guy. He was the do boy. So in her mind, a man is nothing unless he provides something to her. He is nothing unless he gives her praise and admiration when praise and admiration is not warranted. You notice the beta father, he tries to puff himself up. When you meet him, just think about the times that you were in serious relationships or you thought were serious and it was, let's say, 3 months or more. The woman tried to hit you with the, well, my parents want to meet you. They say we've been talking long enough and we need to meet. And this is usually around month 6, a year in. They get antsy because a woman doesn't want to be strung along, which is understandable. We can understand that. However, I told I tell women now, and even with recent women I've dated in the past, that I don't want to meet your parents unless I'm ready to take you from them. And when I mean take her from them, meaning I'm ready to make you my wife. Therefore, I am ready to take over the provisionary details. I'm looking to secure you, take you under my wing, and we build our own family. If that conversation has not been had in a serious manner, if we have not come to the table to discuss what I want my legacy to look like, because this is the thing. You have the beta father who puts ideas in his daughter's head to set an unrealistic standard because he was beta. He think his standard is set because he still has a marriage intact. In some cases, he's still married to the mother, but you notice the mother really doesn't respect him. If you see them in a setting, you see the posture and the body language for those who can understand and read it. The mother really doesn't respect the father, and she knows he's bluffing. And this is why I tell you guys, do not be intimidated when you see the prom pictures of the father holding the assault rifle. If you're about that action, you don't have to show it. You don't have to take pictures and do photo ops with your guns, giving off the idea that if something was to happen to your daughter, you're going to go left. If you were about that action, it will be understood. See, this is an intimidation tactic, which again, I can understand it. This is no different than being in the wild where you see the animals with the camouflage colors and the loud colors and the certain postures they use as a defense mechanism to survive. But the beta father puts ideas in his daughter's head that this is the standard that he should be living. He should be paying the bills, washing your feet, doing everything that you say because he's a do boy. He's the do boy for his marriage. And a lot of the cases and a lot of the times the daughter has saw her mother get very disrespectful with the father. And he took it on the chin because nothing is going to take him away from his family. Not even the disrespect from his own wife. That is not enough to make him leave. You must understand these men are being cheated on and disrespected on that level, and they still stick around. What makes you think this boomer is going to leave from the disrespect that he gets verbally? So if her father is beta, 9 times out of 10, this woman is going to try to run ramshot over you. She's not going to respect you because she sees how her father is. She sees how her mother treats her father, and she thinks that's how things should go. See, what a lot of women will do, they're chameleons. They blend in, they do the dog and pony, they do the trick bag, they do the bait and switch. And once she does this on several occasions, she goes back to her dad and she paints a story to give her the least a bit of accountability or responsibility in the failure of the relationship. So at this point, he smooths everything over and said, well, yeah, you need to get a guy like this, or there are plenty more guys out there waiting. See, a lot of men make the grave mistake of lying to their daughters, telling them they have unlimited chances to secure a man of value. This is why relationships become optional to her. Well, if I get married, then that's fine. If not, then that's okay. Until reality bites, until she see her friends smarten up and they get married, which ultimately they end up settling as well. But on the outside, women lie to each other in mass. So they will paint themselves in a light to say to make themselves seem like they have the perfect relationship. Just a few years ago, Will and Jada, and this is not to beat a dead horse, Will and Jada was just relationship goals, weren't they not? Will and Jada was just relationship goals. Now nobody wants to be like them. Now they're the poster children of toxic marriage and, the undesirable marriage. This is how quickly women switch. But when you notice in her tone that relationships are optional, you must understand that so are you. If a woman is not coming into your program with the mindset that she wants to build and help you achieve things greater than you have already achieved, or achieve things that you cannot achieve alone, which is children and rearing them in a legacy that is not struggle based. Notice that I did not say adversity based, but struggle based, meaning we're not still trying to figure ourselves out. We're still not trying to find our identity in our love or in our lover. A lot of women make the grave mistake thinking that a man is going to make her better, in which cases, in many cases, he should be doing that indirectly because of his drive, because of his ambition, and because of his mindset. That should be rubbing off on her. But if she's been imprinted, and if she has had multiple lovers, that is going to fall off like water off of a duck's back. Your program is not going to stick because she is no longer malleable. She's no longer coachable. She cannot be, should I say, molded into the woman for you, because she has already been molded for the man who is no longer present, or who is no longer qualified for her, or she is no longer qualified for him. If her dad is truly beta, you will see it, because he's going to do extra things to make himself look extra masculine. He's going to try to overcompensate. He's going to try to use fear tactics. Do not be swayed by these tactics. Do not be intimidated by these tactics. Because if he is who he say he is, he's going to be a man of short words. This is why prearranged marriage is still a thing in many cultures, because the man appraises the man with interaction, not by conversation. Not via conversation, because conversation is like an interview. You ask me the right question. It's nothing for me to say the right things. It's nothing for me to pad my resume. So we must interact, and we must go into the field to see how equipped you really are. But if relationships are optional to her, so will you be. Women have been programmed to look at men as options. Her social media, she has a digitized boyfriend. If you don't work, I got a social media account that have 12 different guys that compile into the perfect man for me anyway. So that will pacify me for the time being. And then when I'm ready to get back into the real dating dynamic, then I have these men to pick from. But you guys let me know what you think about this video. Like, comment, subscribe. It's the Date Master.